If it's Friday night, oh yes it is. Strictly Sports NFL Friday. Hello friends, it's Anthony Floyo here with you for a late and special abbreviated edition of NFL Friday. I am joined by Michael Bullock. We were supposed to have the show an hour and a half or so ago, but due to complications on my end, mainly a couple things. One, waiting for Michael Bullock to come in, and also I fell asleep after a long day on my job, so and still dealing with some after effects from a recent illness, but I'm starting to feel better now, and so what we're gonna do here, since Michael Bullock has work commitments in the morning, I don't want to keep him too long. So what we're gonna do is we are going to, as quickly as we can, go through each of the games for this week, and I'll give you the quick schematics and everything else, like I usually do, and we'll just take it from there. So with all that being said, let's get into our first game of the week, which is going to be, I believe, it is going to be the Buffalo Bills going up against the Cincinnati Bengals from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And normally this would be a game on Fox, but since but there are times where each crew there will be times where Fox and CBS would take games that they normally wouldn't do. So just bear with me for a minute. I'm messaging Michael Fletcher. Okay, so I just want to make sure I have the right order here. Yes, Buffalo. We're not going to do a recap. You already know what happened last night anyway. The Carolina Panthers over the New Orleans Saints 23-20. We talked about it briefly on College Football Thursday last night, so no real need to get into it. Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals. And yes, I can confirm this game will be on Fox, believe it or not. And on the call for Fox, it'll be Tom Brenneman with Charles Davis, Chris Spielman, and Peter Schrager. And the spread favors the Cincinnati Bengals by 2.5 to 3. And the series history, I want to say it favors the Buffalo Bills, I think. I believe it is, yes. Yep, 15-12 in favor of the Buffalo Bills. Cincinnati's won the last 3 meetings in a row, including last year, 34-21 in Buffalo. 2011 was the last time they met in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati won that one. Buffalo last won in Cincinnati in 2010. The Game Rater, the NFL Game Rater, rated this game at number 3, believe it or not, if you can believe that. Neither team can afford a loss. FPI gives the Buffalo Bills a 9% chance of making the playoffs with a loss, and the Cincinnati Bengals a 12% chance if they lose. The Bills have lost the last 3 matchups after winning the previous 10. I think it's needless to say, I have to go with the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. I'm starting to lose faith in my team, if I'm going to be real honest with you. I mean, it looked promising for a bit, but well, it wasn't that long ago that the Bills were rolling, but now they have lost 3 in a row, albeit they have been competitive in losses against the Dolphins and the Seahawks on the road. And bizarre to watch, as they really should be 3-5-1. I think that even in a loss, their performance in Seattle I think gave them some confidence, and they can go to Cincinnati and get the win. But I think if I did my pick them correctly, I think I picked Cincinnati to win. So I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals to win 20-17 behind Andy Dalton, AJ Green, Tyler Eifert, and company. I've lost faith in Buffalo anyway. So if Buffalo wins, then my faith will be restored. But for right now, with how they've been tanking as of late, I cannot in good conscience go with them since he's still a good team. So I'm going with the Bengals 20-17. So Michael Bullock, let's get a quick thought from you. Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals. We'll try to go as quick as we can. I know you got to get out of here.
Yeah, so normally I would do the injury report, but for this week I'm gonna bypass it, and I'm just gonna give you.
And I think we'll bypass power rankings too.
Yeah, I got the Cincinnati Bengals winning this one. 27-24 is gonna be my final score. Yeah, Buffalo's just not been that good as of late, and I just think Cincinnati to me is the much better team, especially when you got Andy Dalton and AJ Green, and Bernard and the rest of that defense there. So basically, give me the Bengals to win this one. So, Florio, let's just move on to the next game.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to our next matchup, which Bullock will start off. Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cleveland Browns at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This game, I do believe this one will be on CBS, and let me just check and see who we have on the call real quick. Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon on the call for CBS, and Pittsburgh Steelers an 8 to 9.5 point favorite. Prize, considering how god awful Cleveland is, and Steelers lead the all-time series 68 to 58. I don't know if they met earlier this year or not, but Pittsburgh won both meetings last year, including last year in Cleveland, 28 to 12. And the Game Raider, I believe this came in as the Zonk Game of the Week, if I recall correctly. Yes, it is. Zonk Game of the Week. So, Michael Bullock, I think I know where you're going, but just give us a quick confirmation. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Pittsburgh has been tanking, but let's face it, Cleveland is just such a mess right now. So, I know where you're going.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste any time on this game. Pittsburgh's going to win this one in the laugher here. Big Ben's going to have a solid game. I also think Antonio Brown will have a solid game as well. Le'Veon Bell will play good in the running game. So, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So basically, just give me Pittsburgh to win this one. So, Florio, it is yours.
Although the Steelers have lost 4 games in a row, they still have the largest advantage of the week at 10 points, according to FPI. And there is no question that the Steelers have a lot of problems right now. And their defense has not looked good at all. Therefore, they could be vulnerable here going to Cleveland in a rivalry game that has produced a number of head scratches over the years. I don't see the Browns mustering enough defense to keep the Steelers' offensive stars at bay. I got Pittsburgh winning. It's one of my locks of the week. 30 to 13, the Pittsburgh Steelers all over the Cleveland Browns. Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, they're all going off. So there's really nothing left to say on that. So I got the Steelers as well. Move on to our next matchup. We got the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Dallas Cowboys. This game will be on CBS. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn. They'll be there at AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, Arlington, Texas. We got a spread that favors the Dallas Cowboys by 7 to 7.5. Not really a surprise, considering how great Dallas has been lately. But Baltimore leads Baltimore has won every single meeting in this series. They've only played 4 times, but Baltimore has won all 4 times, including the only time they've ever met in Dallas, 2008, 33-24. Their last overall meeting was 2012 in Baltimore, and Baltimore won that, of course, 31-29. Game Rater rated this game at number 7. Dallas Cowboys 0-4 all-time against the Ravens, the only active franchise they have not beaten. However, FPI favors the Cowboys by 7 to end that streak, the biggest advantage against a team with a winning record this week. There is no team in football that is hotter at the moment than the Dallas Cowboys, as they have won 8 straight since losing their opener to the Giants at home. We all know about the offense led by Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, but I think their defense, which has been better than expected, has helped the cause as well. Speaking of defense, the Ravens have statistically the best defense in the league at the moment, but I don't think on the road they will be able to slow down the so-called America's team. Dallas Cowboys win this game 21-10 behind Ezekiel Elliott, behind Dak Prescott, Dez Bryant, Jason Witten, the whole 9 yards. So give me the Cowboys 21-10. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I got the Dallas Cowboys winning this one as well. I mean, they just been on a roll since losing the opener to the New York Giants. I mean, right now they have the best record in the NFL. I mean, go figure. I mean, who would have thunk that this team would have the best record in the NFL going into the season under a rookie quarterback?
I certainly didn't.
I don't think any of us did. I mean, a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back. I mean, this is why. I mean, I'm glad now, and I think this needs to be addressed here, Florio. I know we want to try to be abbreviated, but I'm glad that they stuck with Dak Prescott and not put Tony Romo back in there.
And Tony Romo, I guess, had a press conference the other day, and he actually even conceded. He even said that Dak Prescott has earned the right to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, they're the number 1 team in our power rankings. Go ahead, Bullock.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? And I have to say right now, you got to put Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. Well, at least the offensive Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. I mean,
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, and this is why I said they need to stick with Tony Romo not Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. I mean, until I see any kind of struggles from him, they got to stick with him. And I'm glad that Jerry Jones has finally woken up and smelled the coffee, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
So, yeah, because we all know how much of a Tony Romo lover he is, but for once I'm glad he actually decided to stick with Prescott. And I'll tell you
he
this:
finally wants to win.
If this defense continues to play well, and the offense continues doing what they're doing, I'm going on the record of saying this, Florio: they're going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, no doubt about it in my mind.
First time in 20 years.
Yeah, and I think for the first time in quite a while, I mean, I think Dallas Cowboys fans can be excited about a Dallas Cowboys team playing on Thanksgiving Day next week. I mean,
that's right, against the Washington Redskins. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you saw a Dallas Cowboys fan base get excited about their team on Thanksgiving Day? I mean, I certainly can't remember it, but
me neither.
Yeah. And all I can say is they certainly showed their resilience last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers in what I think is the game of the year up to this point. I mean, that was 5 stars and beyond, chock full of the absolute finest Shakespearean drama out there. Especially, we were all thinking, they're gonna get into field goal range and win it, but Ezekiel Elliott said, "Nope, I'm gonna take it to the house myself," and that Heinz Field crowd was stunned into silence. And yeah, so this to me is a team of destiny. They're gonna win this game. 24-10 is going to be my final score. You heard it here first. They're going to continue to play this. If they continue playing this well, they're going to represent the NFC in Super Bowl 51. Book it. Florio, let's move on.
21 years, not 20. So Super Bowl 30 was the last time they were there. So, yeah. Next up, Michael Bullock will start on this one. The Jacksonville Jaguars against the Detroit Lions. That will be at Ford Field in Detroit. This one's also on CBS. Andrew Catalon, Steve Berline, Steve Tasker will be on the call for that. 6.5 to 7-point favorite. Series history, 3-2 in favor of Jacksonville. Last meeting was 2012 in Jacksonville. The Lions won that one 31-14. Last meeting in Detroit was in 2008. Jacksonville won that one 38-14 at Ford Field. Detroit's only beaten Jacksonville at home once, and that was in their very first meeting back in 1995. Lions with a 44-0 beatdown on Jacksonville at the old Pontiac Silverdome, of course. And Game Raider, the Game Raider rated this game at number 12. Number 12. I think I've gone down all the schematics. So Michael Bullock, Jacksonville Jaguars, Detroit Lions at Ford Field.
Yeah, I got the Detroit Lions winning this one. I mean, Jacksonville, I mean, they're just an absolute mess. I mean, I was expecting so much from this team going into this year after the way they were last year, and I was expecting them to go up. Well, they've been trending downward in a very big way. So, yeah, so a very disappointing. I mean, I'm very disappointed in this team, and I think Detroit's gonna have. I think they're gonna have a field day with them. My final score is gonna be 31-10. I think Matthew Stafford's gonna have a solid game. Same thing with Marvin Jones, and so there's really nothing more for me to say. So give me the Detroit Lions to win this one. Florio, it's yours.
All right, let me see here. Will the Detroit Lions need another comeback? They are trailed in the fourth quarter of every game this season, but the Jacksonville Jaguars have led in the fourth quarter in only 3 games. FPI favors the Lions by 6, their largest advantage in any remaining game. Among many things disappointing about the Jaguars is that their defense, which has been god-awful for years, well this season, and it has been wasted by a mess of an offense. Detroit isn't particularly good. They've allowed more yards defensively than offensively, but they do crank out wins, and particularly so at home. Detroit wins by a final score of 17-13. 17-13, the Detroit Lions win. Matthew Stafford, solid game. I agree with that. And Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, and I think they'll do just enough to muster a win. So I got Detroit winning as well. So really impressed by the Lions as of late. So all right, next up we got the Tennessee Titans going up against the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. This game is also on CBS, and on the call, Spiro Dedes and Solomon Wilcots. They will be in Indianapolis, and the Colts to 3-point favorite in this matchup. I do know they met earlier this season, and I do believe Indianapolis won that game, as I recall correctly. They met just a short time ago in Nashville, and I'm pretty sure Indianapolis won that game, if I remember correctly. And just bear with me as I pull up the series history. I believe it's now 30-13, and Indianapolis has now won 10 consecutive meetings against the Titans. Tennessee has not won in Indianapolis since 2007. 2007 was the last time the Titans went in Indianapolis and beat the Colts in Indianapolis. Every year since '08, the Colts have won, including last year, 30-24. Game Rater rated this game at number 10 on our docket. Indianapolis Colts have won the last 10 meetings and are looking to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. The Tennessee Titans have scored an NFL high 222 points since week 4. The last time these teams were in action, defeated the Packers, so that's nice. I was very impressed with the offensive display of the Titans this past Sunday, and particularly that of Marcus Mariota, and he cranked out his 6th straight game with multiple passing touchdowns. Than I am with the Colts, and with the Colts' poorest defense, I think Tennessee will get a key road win here and snap their long losing streak. So I'm actually going to go with the Tennessee Titans to win this game. This is my upset special. I'm going for the upset. Give me the Tennessee Titans to win here, 24-21. Marcus Mariota, big game for him again. DeMarco Murray, Delaney Walker. Even though I think Indy's key guys will have big games like Andrew Luck and Frank Gore and T.Y. Hilton in them, but I've lost faith in the Colts as well. So until I see something different from Indy, I cannot in good conscience go with them. So give me the Tennessee Titans for the upset, 24-21. Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
Well, I'm going to follow you by saying I'm going with the Tennessee Titans as well. I mean, I agree. I've lost faith in this Indianapolis Colts team because of their poor defense. And I mean, you take a look at what the Tennessee Titans did last week. I mean, especially with DeMarco Murray and Marcus Mariota, which I think they'll definitely have solid games this week. Yeah, maybe a little something from Delaney Walker as well. So yeah, I'm going with the Tennessee Titans as well. 20-17 is going to be my final score. So yeah, so with that being said, let's move on to our next game.
Off Bullock, it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Now, this game will be broadcast on Fox. Daryl Moose Johnston and Laura Oakman. They'll be at Arrowhead. Chiefs, a 7.5 favorite over the Bucs. That's not a big surprise. Tampa Bay does lead the all-time series 6-5, and Tampa Bay has won each of the last 4 meetings against the Chiefs. Last meeting was 2012 in Tampa Bay. Buccaneers rolled in that one 38-10. City was 2008. The Buccaneers won that one as well, 30-27 in overtime. Won at home against Tampa Bay. Got to go all the way back to 1986. A 27-20 win. And the Game Rater rated this game at number 8. So, Michael Bullock, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, one of our sleeper games of the week. Your thoughts on this interesting matchup?
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting matchup, but let's face it. I mean, Kansas City, they've been on an absolute roll as of late, and of course they're going to be playing. They're playing in the loudest stadium in the National Football League. I think that's going to be a tough environment for Jameis Winston and the rest of that Tampa Bay Buccaneers staff. And I got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to win this one. I'm going to say 34-17 is going to be my final score. Alex Smith, I think he'll have a solid game in the passing game, and maybe you'll see him make some plays with his legs as well. I think Kelsey, I think will have a solid game receiving. So in the defense, I think we'll be able to ground Jameis Winston. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win this one. Florio, it is yours.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on. So, see here. Tampa Bay, Kansas. Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs have won 17 of their last 19 regular season games, but have lost their last 4 matchups with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. FPI has the Chiefs as 9-point favorites, their largest advantage for the rest of the season. All right, let me see. Tampa Bay looked pretty good on Sunday against the Bears, but granted, the Bears also look terrible and are terrible. They will get to go to Arrowhead and take on a Kansas City team that's won 5 in a row and look good, albeit maybe not great. They do a decent job in preventing yardage, but they are very good at keeping teams off the scoreboard. That'll continue here. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game as well. My final score, 16-10, Kansas City over Tampa Bay. Alex Smith will do just enough. I think the defense will do just enough. And that's really all there is to say. So, all right. So, messaging Michael Fletcher about some future content. So, just bear with me on that. So, yeah, I'm with Bullock. I got KC. KC's just the hotter team right now anyway. So, final score for me, 16-10. Kansas City wins over Tampa Bay. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals going up against the Minnesota Vikings at the beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And this game, I believe, will be broadcast on Fox. And believe it or not, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Aaron Andrews are calling this game. If that doesn't surprise you, the spread favors Vikings by 1 to 2.5. And series history favors Minnesota 13-11. Last meeting was a year ago. Arizona won that one in Arizona 23-20. Last meeting in Minnesota was 2012. Vikings won that one 21-14 at the old Metrodome. Last time the Cardinals won in Minnesota, as I look at this, you got to go all the way back to 1977 when they were the St. Louis Cardinals, 27-7. And that was, I think, before the Metrodome was even in existence. So it's been a long time since Arizona has won in Minnesota. And are you ready for an even bigger surprise? You're not going to believe where the FPI game rater rated this matchup with Arizona and Minnesota. Number 1, if you can believe it. How about that?
What?
It's how I see it. I swear I have the right one. Arizona, Minnesota, number 1 game of the week, according to this article. These teams boast the 2 best defensive efficiencies in the NFL, according to FPI, and this game has huge playoff implications. With a win, FPI has the Arizona Cardinals improving their chances of making the playoffs from 24% to 39%. The Minnesota Vikings have a 77% chance of making the playoffs with a win, but it drops to 51% with a loss. 2 of the league's finest defenses will do battle here in Minneapolis. So if you like defense, which we all know Michael Fletcher does, you know where to turn. The Vikings need to turn things around because they have now lost 4 games in a row as the offense has really taken a turn for the worse along the offensive line. It is a serious problem, and I think it is one that the Cardinals will exploit to their benefit. Cardinals. You want to talk about losing faith in teams? Like I've lost faith in Buffalo and Indianapolis. I've lost faith in the Minnesota Vikings. Remember when this team was 5-0? Yeah, me neither. They've lost 4 in a row. They've looked absolutely putrid in that. And it's because of this, I have to go with the Arizona Cardinals to win. And it's my final score. I think Carson Palmer will do just enough. David Johnson will do enough, and I think that defense is going to I think their defense is going to make the bigger plays at the end. Terrible. The running game has been god-awful since Adrian Peterson went down. Receiving core is so-so at best. Minnesota's defense will keep them a minute, but I've just lost too much faith. So until I see otherwise, don't bother firing up that flugelhorn in Minnesota. It's going to be Arizona winning this game. 14-10. That's my final. Flabbergasted as to why the FPI game rater would rate this as our game of the week, but it is what it is, as they say. So it's all yours now, Bullet.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Arizona Cardinals as well. I agree. I've also lost faith in this Minnesota Vikings team. I mean, after they started the season 5-0, and yeah, I think the injuries to some of their key players, I think it's finally coming back to bite on them, and I don't see it getting any better for the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to say 21-10. Arizona wins it behind Carson Palmer, David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, and the defense will make enough big plays. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So give me the Arizona Cardinals to win this one. So Florio, it is yours.
Chicago, our final 1:00 game. The Chicago Bears going up against the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in the Meadowlands. This game will be on Fox, and on the call for Fox, Kevin Burkhardt, John Lynch, and Pam Oliver. And the spread favors the New York Giants. 7.5 to 9 points is the spread there. Series history. Chicago Bears lead the all-time series 28-19 with 2 ties. 1937, a 3-3 tie in New York, and a 17-17 tie in New York in 1956. Last meeting was in 2013 in Chicago. Bears won that one 27-21. Last meeting in New York was in 2010. Giants won that one 17-3. Last time the Bears won in New York against the Giants was in 2006. That was a 38-20 win at the old Giants Stadium. Of course, that year, as you remember, the Bears went on to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 41, before losing to the Colts. And FPI Game Rater, where did they rate this matchup? They rated this matchup at number 11. Number 11. Michael Bullock, Chicago Bears, New York Giants. You started off. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I got the New York Giants winning this one. I mean, I haven't been impressed with Chicago, and the Giants. I think have been playing really well. I think my final score is going to be 24-10 is going to be my final score. I think Eli Manning's going to have a solid game. Odell Beckham Jr. will have a solid game as well. I think Rashad Jennings will be okay in the running game, but yeah. So give me the Giants to win this one. Florio, it is yours.
The New York Giants have won their last 4 games, and FPI has increased their playoff chances from 21% to 67% during that stretch. They face a Chicago Bears team that has scored the second fewest points in the NFL. The Bears, as we all know, are really bad, and they followed up a surprising Monday night victory over the Vikings with a joke of a performance against the Buccaneers. And going up against a New York team that has won 4 games in a row and is playing good football at the moment, particularly on the defensive end, I'm not that optimistic for them. So in another one of my locks of the week, I got the G-Men rolling here. 28-10 is my final score in favor of the G-Men. Eli Manning, huge game. Odell Beckham Jr., huge game. Sterling Shepard, huge game. Not sure about the running game, and I think the defense will definitely get to Cutler and the rest of that unit. So give me the G-Men here, 28-10, no doubt about that. So now we move on to our late games now. And we started off with another game that would normally be on CBS, but this game is actually now going to be on Fox as well. the Miami Dolphins going up against the Los Angeles Rams at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. This game, like I said, will be broadcast on Fox. And on the call for Fox, it will be, bear with me for a moment, Chris Myers, Rondé Barber, and Jennifer Hale. They'll be in the Coliseum for the Dolphins and the Rams. The Dolphins are a 1 to 2 point favorite. Series history favors the Miami Dolphins 10-2, including the last 3 meetings in a row. 2012 was the last meeting. That was in Miami. Dolphins won 17-14. Last meeting where the Rams hosted was in St. Louis in 2008. Miami won that as well, 16-12. This will be the first time the Dolphins and the Rams will be squaring off in Los Angeles since all the way back in 1986. And the Miami Dolphins won a 5-star classic of a game, 37-31 in overtime. And the game rater, our FPI game rater, rated this game as number 13. Number 13. And I believe I start this one off. So the Miami Dolphins have the second longest winning streak in the AFC at 4 games. But FPI favors the Los Angeles Rams by 0.5 point in the closest spread of the week. The Dolphins have roared out of nowhere to win 4 games in a row and to get into the postseason mix in the AFC, but they will have an interesting test here. Los Angeles will finally be starting top overall pick Jared Goff, and we aren't really sure what to expect from him, but we do know that the LA defense will keep them in just about any game. That said, that offense is so bad, that will make this a little tough to take out Miami. So I'm going with the Miami Dolphins to win this game. My final score is 23-17 for Miami. There's no question about this. Ryan Tannehill should have another solid game. But the one guy we have to watch out for, Jay Ajayi. He has just been on an absolute tear. And I think he's going to have himself another monster game. And the receiving core with Kenny Stills and Jarvis Landry, they'll have solid games as well. And I think the defense, I think they'll get to Jared Goff. I'm not sure what to expect from Goff in his first start. Todd Gurley should have a solid game. Kenny Britt, I think he'll have a solid game. I'm hoping he has a solid game because he's on my fantasy team. So, but in the end, though, I just think the Miami Dolphins are the better team right now. So give me the Miami Dolphins, 23-17 in the Coliseum. So Michael Bullock, Miami Dolphins against the Los Angeles Rams. Jared Goff is finally going to get the start. Your thoughts on this interesting matchup in the Coliseum?
Yeah, I mean, the Rams, after all this time, have finally decided they're going to start their number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff. But in the end, I don't think it's really going to make that much difference. The Rams haven't been all that good. Meanwhile, Miami has been playing well as of late. So give me the Miami Dolphins to win this one. I'm going to say 24-14 is going to be my final score, behind Ryan Tannehill and the rest of that offense for the Miami Dolphins. So give me the Dolphins to win this one. Florio, let's move on to our next game.
And here's one that I know you'll be watching, Bullock, with somewhat of vested interest. Your team, the New England Patriots, going up against the San Francisco 49ers, Levi's Stadium in San Francisco. This game will be on CBS. And on the call for CBS, the legendary Greg Gumbel with Trent Green and our old friend from Nesson, Jamie Erdahl. They'll be in San Francisco. New England is the largest favorite of the week. I just want to let you fine folks know that right now. New England, an 11-13 point favorite to beat the 49ers in San Francisco. Series history favors the 49ers 8-4. San Francisco leads the all-time series. Last meeting it was in 2012. Who will ever forget it? It was on a Sunday night in Foxborough in Gillette, and the San Francisco 49ers won one of the craziest Sunday night football games I've ever seen. 41-34. 5-star classic, Shakespearean drama at its absolute finest. One of the greatest Sunday night games I've ever seen. Last meeting in San Francisco was in 2008. Patriots won that one by a score of 30-21. Last time the 49ers won at home against the Patriots, you got to go back to 1995. That was a 28-3 final. Of course, that was back in the days of Steve Young and Jerry Rice. And here comes, are you ready for another surprising game rater ranking? This game rated came in at number 5. This game cracked the top 5. What? Michael Bullock, I already know who you have. But just give us a quick thought anyway. They're going to be without Gronk because, as you all know, Gronk suffered an injury in that tough loss at home against Seattle last Sunday night.
And they're going to be without Chris Hogan. And I just heard recently Jabal Sheard isn't going to be playing as well.
But yeah, and New England is still a 2-touchdown favorite. How?
Well, let's just face it. I mean, you got Tom Brady. I mean, you still got Martellus Bennett out there.
That's right.
I think and you got LeGarrette Blount as well, who has been playing well, running the football, and I think the defense will improve. I think they'll make some plays, so New England should have no problems with this one. I think they'll be fine even without some of their key guys. So I'm going to say 31-10 is going to be my final score. So Florio, it is yours.
The New England Patriots have the second best point differential in the NFL at +78, and the San Francisco 49ers have the second worst, -96. FPI favors the Patriots in all but one of their remaining games and favors the 49ers in only one of their final 7 games. New England suffered a tough loss at home against the Seahawks on Sunday night, and they will come back and take it out on the 49ers. San Francisco did play competitively against the Cardinals in Arizona, but their defense is still terrible. I have no confidence that they could pull off an upset here, even if in Santa Clara against the Patriots. And I'll say it right now, New England is my lock of the week. 35-10, New England rolls. There's no question about it. Brady, huge game. And with Gronk out, it obviously means Martellus Bennett's going to be the starting tight end. I'm looking for him to have a monster game as well. LeGarrette Blount, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola. Defense will have a field day, so no question about this one. 35-10, New England wins. They're my lock of the week. That's enough to be said. So let's move on to our other 425 game. Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks, CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And this game normally would be on Fox, but no, this one is now on CBS. CBS will have this game. And on the call for CBS, hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. They'll be in Seattle for the Eagles and the Seahawks. Seattle is a 6.5 to 7 point favorite to win there. And series history is tied at 7 apiece, 7-7. Last meeting was in 2014 in Philadelphia. Seattle won that one 24-14. Last meeting in Seattle was 2011. Seattle won that 31-14. And the last time Philadelphia won in Seattle was in 2008, 26-7. That was the final there. FPI Game Rater rated this game at number 2. Number 2 game of the week right here. Week 11 has the greatest playoff implications on the Philadelphia Eagles. FPI gives the Eagles a 59% chance of making the playoffs with a win, but less than 32% with a loss. The Seattle Seahawks are nearly a 7-point favorite according to FPI, the Eagles' largest disadvantage for the rest of the season. After the disgraceful tie against the Cardinals and the disappointing loss to New Orleans, Seattle has roared back with 2 straight strong victories, with a quality win and a thriller against the Bills, and going to Foxborough and upsetting the Patriots. Meanwhile, the Eagles bounced back after 2 straight tough NFC East losses with a solid physical win over the Falcons on Sunday. But they have only won once on the road this season, and that came back in September against the Bears, and I'm not feeling a road upset here. I got the Seattle Seahawks winning this game. My final score, 28-21 in favor of Seattle. Russell Wilson solid game. Thomas Rawls, who will now be the new running back because they just traded Christine Michael. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Doug Baldwin, Jermaine Kearse, Jimmy Graham on the receiving core, and I think the Legion of Boom will contain Carson Wentz, and they'll contain that offense just enough for the Seahawks to win. So Seattle wins. My final score, 28-21. Keep their roll going. So Michael Bullock, Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks. Normally a Fox game. It's on CBS with our favorite announced crew. Your thoughts on Eagles and Seahawks in the 12th man of Seattle. So Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, last week, Seattle, I thought looked good in their victory over the Patriots, and I'll tell you this right now, Russell Wilson, he looks like the Russell Wilson of old, and that's bad news for defenses around the NFL. So, yeah, the defense I thought played well enough against New England to slow their offense down. So, yeah, and that releasing Christian Michael, I mean, that's a little bit of a shocker, but we'll wait and see how that goes with looks like maybe Thomas Rawls getting the start, but either way, I got Seattle winning this one. I mean, there's no way Philadelphia is going to go in to the home of the 12th man and beat a team like Seattle. So give me the Seahawks to win this one. 28-17 is going to be my final score. Russell Wilson will have a solid game. I think Jimmy Graham will have a solid game, and that Legion of Boom will make it very tough for Carson Wentz and the rest of that Eagle offense. So give me the Seahawks to win this one. Florio, it is yours.
And now we move on to Sunday Night Football. The Green Bay Packers going up against the Washington Redskins, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. This game's on NBC. Of course, you know who's working it. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya will be on the call. Washington Redskins, believe it or not, a 2.5 to 3 point favorite in this matchup on Sunday night. And the series history favors the Green Bay Packers 18-13 with one tie. One tie came all the way back in 1933, a 7-all tie in Lambeau. Last overall meeting, we all remember, it was back in January of this year. They met in the NFC wildcard game. Green Bay won that one by a score of 35-18 before they would lose to the Arizona Cardinals in that unforgettable divisional game in Arizona. Last regular season meeting was in 2013. Green Bay won that one 38-20 at Lambeau. Last meeting in Washington was in 2010. Redskins won that 16-13 in overtime. Last time the Packers won in Washington before that playoff game was in 2004. That was a 28-14 win back when Brett Favre was playing. And the Game Rater, FPI Game Rater, they rated this game at number 6. I believe, Bullock, you start this one off. So Sunday Night Football, Green Bay Packers, Washington Redskins. A tale of two teams going in different directions. I mean, who would have thought the Redskins would actually be the favorite against a great Packer team? And it's the first time they're meeting since that playoff game, and you know Washington's got revenge on their mind from that wild card game.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, Florio. The Green Bay Packers haven't been playing so great as of late. I just can't see any reason why. I can see why they have the Redskins as the favorite. I just think, to me, they've been the better team as of late. And you take a look what happened with the Green Bay Packers last week. They got blown out by the Tennessee Titans 47-25.
Unbelievable.
That to me is unacceptable. And unless I see the Green Bay Packers get back to the Green Bay Packers of old, I cannot in the right frame of mind go with the Green Bay Packers in this one. I got to go with the Washington Redskins in this one. I'm going to say my final score. I'm going to say I'm going to go 24-21. Washington beats the Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So, Florio, I give it to you.
Talk about teams going in different directions. The Green Bay Packers have lost 3 games in a row, and the Washington Redskins are 5-1-1 in their last 7. FPI favors the Redskins by less than 1 point to keep those trends going. The Packers are lucky that the rest of the NFC North is a mess because they have been awful as of late. Getting blown out in Nashville after losing to the Colts at home is frankly inexcusable. Mike McCarthy is probably coaching for his tenure down the stretch, but I'm just not optimistic. They haven't done anything of late that would make me think that they could go to Landover and take on a solid Washington club. So consider this another L. I got the Washington Redskins winning this game as well, Bullock. I agree with you. 31-24, Washington wins behind Kirk Cousins. He's going to have another huge game. The running game with Matt Jones, and of course, Pierre Garcon, Jordan Reed on the receiving core. And don't get me wrong, I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to have another solid game. They got Christian Michael. I think it's because Eddie Lacy's battling an injury. So I think that's why they picked up Michael from Seattle. Randall Cobb's still a little banged up. But they still got Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams and Richard Rodgers. But right now, you got to go with the hot hand. And our theme of the show this week has been losing faith in certain teams. And here's another team that I cannot believe I'm losing faith in the Green Bay Packers, who are one of the favorites in the NFC. But give me the Washington Redskins. I never thought I'd say that. So give me the Washington Redskins in this one. 31-24. That's my final score. Final game of the week, we have Monday Night Football, and a very interesting Monday Night Football game, to say the very least. The Houston Texans going up against the Oakland Raiders at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, Mexico. Monday Night Football on ESPN. You know who's working it. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters. Raiders, 5.5 to 6.5 point favorites in this one. Series history favors the Houston Texans, 6-3. Last meeting was 2014 in Oakland. Texans won that one 30-14. Raiders last beat the Texans the year before, 2013, 28-23 in Houston. And the only time the Raiders were the home team and beat the Texans at home, 2008, 27-16. Of course, this is a neutral site game, but the Raiders, I do believe, are the home team in this one, even though this game is in Mexico City. NFL Game Rater rated this game at number 9. The Oakland Raiders have scored 30 points in their last 3 games, tied for the longest active streak in the NFL. However, the Houston Texans have allowed 30 points in only 1 game this season. Quality games have become a rarity on Monday nights of late, but this should be one worth watching. Between 2 division leaders, granted, Oakland is tied for the AFC West lead at the iconic Estadio Azteca. One cannot dismiss how bad the Raiders are on defense, but one cannot also dismiss how good the Raiders are on offense, which makes them a fun team to watch. Houston's offense just is not good enough to take advantage of that Oakland defense. So I'm going with the Oakland Raiders to win this game. My final score, 31. Here's another final of 31-24. Oakland wins behind another big game from Derek Carr. I think Latavius Murray's going to have another solid game. The receiving core with Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, and a great young receiver in Seth Roberts. So, and I don't have any faith in Osweiler. I don't think Osweiler is going to do much of anything. Lamar Miller or Will Fuller, but I'm going with the Oakland Raiders to win it, 31-24. Raiders' magical season continues. So Michael Bullock, Houston Texans, Oakland Raiders, Monday night, Mexico City, Estadio Azteca, as Michael Fletcher would so elegantly say it. So how about them Raiders, huh? I'm sure you like them in this one. So what do you think about this interesting Monday night game in Mexico?
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. I mean, with the Monday Night Football in Mexico, whew, I mean, this should be interesting to see. But yeah, but either way, I got the Oakland Raiders to win this one. I'm going to say my final score is going to be 30 to 17 is going to be my final score. I mean, this Raiders team has been playing unbelievable right now, leading their division, and yeah, so that I mean, Derek Carr will have a solid game for the offense, also with Amari Cooper, and of course that defense led by Khalil Mack. So there's really nothing more to say. So Florio, I say we just put a bow on this edition of Strictly Sports NFL Friday.
Yeah, no need to do the power rankings. Besides, you already know who number one's going to be. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys anyway. So,
oh yeah, but either way, I mean, if we were doing it, my number two, and I know this may come as a surprise, but you have to go with the New England Patriots as my number two because, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, they only lost by a touchdown, and I mean, and they still put up over 20 points. It's not like they got blown out. And plus, they only lost by a touchdown to a good Seahawks team. Now, if they had gotten blown out, I think they would have taken a tumble even lower than that.
That's true, Bullock. But with all due respect, I have to respectfully disagree with you. I still have them in my top five, but number two, I think it's a little too steep. If I'm being real honest. My number two would be Kansas City, only because Oakland's on bye and I can't move them up because, the bye week rule. So Dallas, Kansas City, and Oakland are my top three. I would then have Seattle at 4, and then I would have New England round out the top 5. So that's really all there is to say on that. So that's a little abbreviated power rankings, if I'm being real honest with you. So yeah, we're going to put the ball on this edition, on this abbreviated edition of NFL Friday. I do apologize for the inconvenience. On both of our ends, I fell asleep after a long work week, and Michael Bullock ran considerably late. And Michael Fletcher, of course, did his own video because he was tired of waiting. So, all right. So before we do our quick shout-outs, Bullock, do we have a time set for our Survivor Series preview? Fletcher wants to know because Fletcher's actually going to join us for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Let's just do it like sometime after midnight. And if I'm still not in, you guys just start without me.
All right. I'll ask Fletcher and see if that's good for him. If not, would you want to be offended if we did a video just on our own? Would you?
Hey, I don't mind at all.
You'll be on for the recap anyway, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so there you go. So I'll pitch the midnight idea to Fletcher. If he likes it, then we'll go with the 3-man booth. But if not, then I'll start it earlier and have MF and I just run the show, and we'll have you on for Sundays. So so with that being said, let's do a quick shout out, Bullock, before we wrap up.
Yeah, of course, shout outs to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who continue to support our shows. Whether it's Ridiculously Raw, Cerebral Smack Talk, Strictly Sports, College Football Thursday, or NFL Friday. Of course, shout outs to all our super fans out there. You guys know who you are. And of course to our friends from our high school days, you guys know who you are. And of course, our news personalities from 6, 10, and 12. And of course, to our personalities from ESPN, Fox Sports, MLB Network, NFL Network, NHL Network, NBA TV. So, so that's going to do it for me. So until later tonight for our Survivor Series preview, This is Mike Bullock saying thank you all so very much for tuning in. Of course, you know the routine. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now. Enjoy the college football on Saturday later today, and of course the NFL action on Sunday. So Florio, take us home.
Yeah, we'll do, Bullock. Of course, special shout out to all of our tremendous fans and viewers out there who continue to make our shows what they are. We appreciate it as always. You are the best fans in the world. Of course, special shout out to the official first lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, Kevin Woodson, and the entire Woodson family. Of course, Matt Ward, Jason Hicksonbaugh, Daniel Luttrell from the UK. Our other first ladies, Kaiser Butler, Megan Silva, and Lexi Calloway. Our other crew members, Tommy Souza, Eric Carrier, Jimmy Alden, Al Braderson, and Rob Parsons. And, of course, good old MF Michael Fletcher, who obviously did his own video tonight, and the Hardcore Pipe Bomb himself, Derek Ferreira. Great sports blog stuff. He did a Survivor Series preview blog today, along with his NXT preview blog the other day. So give those a quick read on sportsblog.com. All of our personalities from 6, 10, and 12. Of course, our friends over at MLB Network, NHL Network, NFL Network, NBA TV, ESPN, FS1, the whole 9 yards. Julie Alexandria, Olivia Harlan, Julianne Fake Soda from Channel 12, Lindsay McCormick, State of Sorrel, our friends from The Road Show, Will Gilbert, Brendan Kirby, and Michaela Johnson, along with former co-hosts Megan Mooney and Mary Larson. And, of course, last but certainly not least, my wonderful church family over at Oasis of Grace Ministries on 464 Silver Spring Street in Providence. This Sunday, a very special Thanksgiving fellowship luncheon following service. So that'll be around 12:30, 1 o'clock or so. And come on down for those of you who are watching and be blessed by that. That's going to be a fun time. Looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to that. I've always looked forward to the fellowship meals, believe it or not. Of course, other things going on there. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Bible study, 10 a.m. or after usually the Sunday service. And like I said, this Sunday afternoon following the Sunday service is the special Thanksgiving fellowship luncheon. And then Wednesday nights at 7, Bible study, and then other events going on. So if you need a church home, check them out. Exit 25 off Route 95 in Providence, and they'll take great care of you. They've done wonders for me. So, and I am beyond grateful for all they've done for me. So, and that's why I'm theirs for life. So yeah, they'll do it for this. So tomorrow night, like Bullock said, we're gonna have our Survivor Series preview show, and believe it or not, good old MF Michael Fletcher will actually be on the show. I know that might be hard to believe, but he's gonna be on the show. I messaged him about the midnight idea, and he actually says okay. So he actually says that's good for him. So there you go. So it'll be sometime after midnight. We don't know when exactly, but we'll start it at midnight. We'll start at midnight straight up, myself and MF, and as soon as Michael Bullock gets in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. Simple as that. The 30th anniversary of Survivor Series. We're going to preview that sucker, every nook and cranny of it, tomorrow night at midnight. And then Sunday night, following the pay-per-view, jump on over to MF's channel, BraceFan 95, for our recap of Survivor Series. I'll be here. Bullock will be here. MF will be here. Maybe we'll have Dee Dee Woodson. And then Monday night, of course, Ridiculously Raw. We'll sort out all the fallout from Monday Night Raw as far as Survivor Series goes. And by Tony's take on Impact Wrestling. And then Tuesday night, Cerebral Smack Talk over on BraceFan 95 as well. We'll review SmackDown Live, their fallout from Survivor Series, as well as Mikey's Mindset on ROH, RWA, and a very historic Lucha Underground. If you didn't see the last Lucha Underground, it was Aztec Warfare 3. History was made in a way that history has never been made before. Something happened on that show that has never, ever happened in the world of professional wrestling on any level. What happened? MF will tell you on Tuesday night. And I'm also pleased to announce that this Wednesday night, I got the confirmation from Derek Ferreira today. This Wednesday night, get ready. Oh boy, it's going to be our 5th annual Strictly Sports Football Feast. Feed me more. Yes. Our Football Feast show, our very popular Football Friday Football Feast show. We're going to have it for you Wednesday night in place of our College Football Thursday show. There will be no College Football Thursday broadcast, obviously, due to the Thanksgiving holiday, and rightfully so. We'll talk about the 3 NFL Thanksgiving games, and then we'll go down all the top 25 action in college football, including our game of the year, not just the game of the week, but the game of the year with Michigan and Ohio State. And then, of course, next Friday, we'll have our NFL Friday broadcast, and I promise we'll be on time this time. So, all right, so that'll do it. So until tomorrow at midnight for our Survivor Series preview edition of the Wrestling Forum, it's Anthony Florio here for Michael Bullock, and in spirit, good LMF Michael Fletcher and Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Saturday. Enjoy all the college football action. And until our Survivor Series preview edition of the Wrestling Forum, you were watching this abbreviated edition of Strictly Sports NFL Friday right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And for now, Anthony Florio, so long.